Yeah. Woo!
Efforting on the Facebook side. Had some tech difficulties over there, but we'll try to get that hammered out as we go along. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday, a big Wednesday, a huge Wednesday, obviously. I mean, perspective is everything. So it's huge that you're here with us. Hit us in the comments. Call us at the link. Please believe that link is active. And, I mean, it's a Wednesday. Before football has started, we need you now more than ever. So please believe that. But thank you for joining us, all who are here. Just saw Nick in the private chat. Just confirming, well, breaking the fourth wall. But CEO Nick in the private chat confirmed that he is not gay. So
breaking news, folks.
It's a little, not quite a press conference, but just he wants to put it out there to the world. So there it is. There you have it. But Tyler, how are you doing on this Wednesday on the verge of full-blown college football?
Ron, I'm doing good. We did get, I think there was one game tonight with Jacksonville State actually getting smashed by
UAB.
University. Go Blazers.
That's right.
So not too good for Deion. Excuse me, Coach Sanders. Don't want to call him Deion.
That's right.
But no, doing good, man. Hey, got to be happy. The Dodgers are up and the Giants are down, so the Dodgers might actually get into first tonight. Who knows? Knock on wood, because Lord knows they haven't wanted to be in first place all year. So doing good, man.
It still all comes down to this weekend. So good God.
Big weekend series. But Ron, how are you this evening?
I am, doing well for the most part. I'm here. But this DraftKings football ad campaign is getting real. I mean, it's getting real. And I knew it was going to be busy, but just due to circumstances, there's also a transition of power going on, sort of thing. So we're restaffing again. Thomas, please, you cannot come soon enough. I need you over here. I need my bro to help.
He's just jumping into this at probably the worst time too.
No, he's not. I mean, there is no better time than now. And what we need you for right now at this moment, you're ready to go. Like, I trust you. You got this covered. But as it's sort of like, it's not all me, but it's
mostly you.
It's two of us and one kind of like having to set up the other person that's coming over and do the HR like out the door stuff. So the whole day is just like, oh my God, like it's insane. But we will persevere. We will get through this. It could be worse. We could be the Mets. We will never be the Mets.
Oh boy, no,
far way better than the Mets.
Nobody will be the Mets ever.
There's only one Mets, but we power through, and I again immensely appreciate all of you who are here joining us. Hit us in the comments, call us at the link, please.
Definitely.
So, being a Wednesday, we haven't really got fully ramped up into football, and I'm a little disappointed. I put this out in the radio station league yesterday. All right, what are we going to do? Are we going to get together and do this draft? It's tomorrow. I know either some people cannot come because is there a Padre game tomorrow? I don't even know. But if there is, that probably takes out like 3 people in the league.
I think there is a Padre game tomorrow.
Now I'm just going to look that up right now.
Well, in fact, because they played in Arizona early today. So that means they're probably traveling at night. So there has to be a game tomorrow.
Looks like they have an off day tomorrow. So,
okay, then.
Where are you at?
Well, then that just knocks everybody out. Yeah. Like, what excuse do they have now?
But, like Coach has been doing his show from his house up in Solana Beach. He hasn't been to the studio, I believe, in well over a year at this point. And whatever other conflicts, I mean, it's not like he's just like holed up in his house, but I get that everyone's not going to be together. Like Will lives in Phoenix now. Jordan's going to be out there. it is what it
Oh,
is. But
wasn't flying in for this? What the hell, dude?
I know I could send the chopper, Will, but you say the word. I got my guys, but he hasn't reached out yet on that level, so unfortunate.
Scared.
Yes, you can still get some good shit talking in on a video chat for sure, but like to mix it up in person, maybe see at least like 4 or 5 people, depending on what's going on. Elo, his wife, I know the nephew is out wherever I think he's somewhere in Denver or something. Also, he's like the nemesis. Like everyone hates him in the league now because he won last year. But
Okay, that's why.
And lo and behold, first pick this year. So collusion. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. That draft in some form or fashion is going to go down tomorrow. I know I have another one Sunday, and then our league that Tyler and myself are in, I believe is what,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting to be that time. Going into the draft, it's mostly about the roasting everyone else and getting roasted.
100%. Yeah.
You can draft someone. It's like, dude, this is solid. Boom. They just, but that guy's leg fell off at practice. Like, oh, okay, well, so that could be like 2 to 3 weeks, right? No, like he may never walk again.
No, yeah, his leg actually fell off. They are very concerned they may not be able to reattach it.
The draft is more about the spirit of the back and forth. In our case, in our league, pretty much shitting on Tong or
mostly,
just yelling at random people for no reason. But
yeah,
but that's the joy of it. So we'll see what happens with that. I am happy that college football is really ramping up with some games tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday.
yes.
But taking a look at tomorrow, looking at the future Big Ten champs, Rutgers, Temple going to Rutgers, going to New Jersey, the Citadel at Coastal Carolina, also Coastal Carolina, pretty solid program. I mean, they're not going to go national title or anything like that, but also you just like the name, the Citadel.
No, because they won't be allowed to, because the NCAA is scared. That's why they won't be going for the national title.
They should. They don't want to see him play.
That's right. Now, I mean, like you got to imagine, probably the big time game. Not that I don't think anybody thinks it's gonna be a close game, but the Buckeyes going to Minnesota tomorrow at 5:00 on Fox. That's probably the premier game tomorrow, just because it's, the Buckeyes. That's a team where as long as they don't lose more than one game, they are essentially guaranteed a playoff spot every year. So I imagine that everybody's gonna be looking out for that one.
It's still, off name value. I know last year was kind of down, and also the dude still always just makes me think of Rob Corddry, the Minnesota coach. But they did have a good year 2 years ago, sort of like, oh, Minnesota, where's this coming from? And they put together a good season. And it's, again, it's not the Rutgers or Maryland of the Big Ten. Like, they're a somewhat capable team, so getting this game on a Thursday, there's a little bit of a tasty element to it, at least.
And then I would definitely always say, keep your eye on that Bowling Green at Tennessee, because Tennessee is wont to lose a game like that.
Oh boy,
that's a team that it's like, like if they win that by 30 points, I'm not that surprised. If they lose it by 10, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, Tennessee that's a weird thing. I mean, there's history there, but then like when you see Tennessee fans try to like drag it up, it's like, you guys were tight in like the 50s. Like, I mean, like a lot of good players come out of there, like Peyton Manning, and then you go back, and yes, Rocky Top, and the stadium's huge, and it's like a big deal.
How dare you not mention T. Martin? That is a national championship quarterback, all right? He did what Peyton Manning couldn't do.
That's true. That is true. But, Tennessee is just always one of those, it's like a big team that always has some kind of small team problem sort of thing. Like, I could see the appeal. Like, there's some recruiting, draw there to sure they got good facilities, huge stadium, big football tradition, but then it's like you guys just always mess up somehow. So I'm just waiting to see how that happens this year.
Justin filling us in for another league that we're in. Have you even activated that league this year? I don't even know.
Yeah, I saw the email. The Swarm needs a draft time. So unless that's just recently updated, I don't know. But if we got to do it live, we'll do it live.
Do it live.
We'll do it on air.
And then the nightcap game Thursday, you got our guy Herm leading the charge against Southern Utah.
I don't know, because they paid for it to be on there.
Well, look, ESPN didn't want to get their highest rated game on the first Thursday of the year. All right, so you move that over to ESPN Plus to give. They're
trying to draw people to the app. It's like a fight night. If they have one or two, this is like borderline pay-per-view level kind of fight. They want you to go and sign up for the trial. They want people to try out the app. So I feel like this game is their version of that, because UC Davis, nothing moves the needle like UC Davis going into Tulsa.
No, definitely not. Then, of course, we also have some games Friday as well. Let's look at the slate. North Carolina, Virginia Tech, always tasty. North Carolina the last few years has really turned the program around. Virginia Tech, been struggling, but the name value is still there. They're probably still going to win 7 games a year. So
still talented. I think that's just sneaky good, because yes, it's in the same conference, a lot of history there. North Carolina sort of resurgent, like you said. Look, they're preseason ranked number 10, and Virginia Tech always like a baseline of they're pretty good. RIP Beamer ball, those were the glory days. Right. But still some talented players always coming out of Va-Tech, I should say.
Yeah, and then not an exciting slate, but it's college football, so I'll watch whatever. Michigan State, Northwestern, I'll have my eye on that one. Just, Michigan State still kind of looking to come back to the glory days they had, 5-10 years ago. Northwestern been a solid program for a while now under Fitzpatrick, yeah. So you got to imagine they'll be the favorites in that one. But that's one I'll definitely be keeping my eye on Friday night before we go on air.
No, I like the week 0 thing that they did on Saturday. I kind of like the way they do that. Yes, there's not really any marquee games here, but it just gives you that little ramp up, ooh, college football's bad. And then you go into the midweek for the next week, and then Saturday everyone's playing, or the rest, I guess I should say. But I like this build up. There's a couple good games there. I'm not even opposed to saying that Michigan State Northwestern game could end up being a good game. It's on ESPN, big boy ESPN. I kind of coin flip right there, because Michigan State is just so weird right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the line is. I would just kind of off the top of my head tend to would say, hammer Northwestern for entertainment purposes only, of course.
Obviously. Please believe that.
But yeah, you're right. Michigan State is weird. They could just randomly show up on a given week and beat a team they should be getting killed by, and go on a 4-game losing streak right after that. So it's one to keep an eye on, because I think Northwestern is too well coached, too disciplined, and quite frankly, they've built a really good team in the last decade. So I kind of really like them just off the top of my head in that one.
Yeah, I could see that kind of going either way, and being at Northwestern, kind of leaning towards that. But don't have a lot of NFL just quite yet to get into. I know we're kind of in the dead week before, next a week from tomorrow, first game of the season. Can't wait for that. And I'm sure the NFL can't wait to take everyone's money and have everyone watch it. But a couple little odds and ends in the NFL. First of all, and this is the biggest one of the day, there will be another Nickelodeon game. Please believe that. And this time, wild card weekend. So with some real stakes going on.
Yeah, I mean, kind of when I saw the news this morning, I was, as somebody who last year when they did this was kind of like, really, like that's going to be stupid, and then wound up being, proven completely wrong about it because it was pretty freaking great. I'm excited they're doing this again. And look, who knows? Who knows if Mitch is going to be able to defend his MVP? Even if he's not in the game, they might just vote him the MVP anyways. But I'd be interested to see if he'll be able to defend his crown.
The one thing I'm curious about, though, and I do, I thought the way it was put together, it came out better than I was like fearing for the worst. But then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is kind of fun, and it's cool. And they have like kid sideline reporters, like they did a good job with it. But the other thing in the back of my mind was like, well, this is like Drew Brees over the Hill Saints and the Bears. So if any game was crying out to be more interesting, like this one is a prime candidate. But if we're talking about a wild card game, like it's already going to be like an important game. So I don't know if the Nickelodeon stuff is going to go way too over the top. Like, just try to watch the game here, man. What's up with the slime? Like, what is this?
Look, they had to be over the top because no kid is going to find his love of football from a 2020
No.
Saints Bears game.
No.
Drew
Brees anything, can't throw like 20 feet down the field. Mitch,
that's just completely
MVP, yes, but
it's just going to turn kids away from the game. So hopefully they can get a better game that will draw the interest of the future fans.
Well, like I said, the stakes are kind of raised if this is going to be a playoff game because, and I'm sure, I would assume that they're going to have, you can watch it like straight up or you can watch the Nickelodeon one. For a playoff game, there's going to be a lot of betting. Fans of either team are probably like, okay, we do want to win the playoff game. I don't want to see all the slime and all this stuff. Some people. But it is funny that they move it to the playoffs, and I thought it was fun last year, but again, that was a game that probably needed the help kind of thing. So we'll see how it plays out in an actual playoff game.
No, I am glad they're doing it. Like I said, last year when they announced it, I was very much like, this is dumb. And then once it happened, it was like, okay, no, they did really good with it. So glad they're bringing it back.
And in other NFL news, I know you see my Tebow Jags jersey, RIP. But former Jags legend Gardner Minshew, the second, I believe, or the third, I'm not sure.
The eighth.
The eighth, yes. This was just a bizarre sort of, in a lot of ways, because look, he didn't want to be backup, kind of like the Cam thing, I'm sure he kind of was, if you guys could release me, I'd like to move on, test the water somewhere else. Of course, he's going to the Colts where he is de facto a backup, but maybe has a chance of getting back in there sooner if the Jags are just going to be riding with Trevor Lawrence. So his only previous experience with Nick Sirianni was a Colts pre-draft visit. An intense game, of course, happened, and Minshew needed to remove his shirt. Sirianni won. I'm back for revenge. So I don't know if he's going there to, maybe challenge Jalen Hurts for actually starting job, or if he just has unfinished business with Nick Sirianni.
He just wants the horse rematch, then he'll just say, release me from my contract. I got what I needed.
That's it. I came what I had to get. That's right.
Just the details of this game are very, very Gardner Minshew. Just the fact that his only meeting was a game of horse, and the fact that it got so serious that flannels off, boys, flannels off.
You can always tell a Mike Leach man. That's all I can say. They're built different.
That is 100% true. That that's actually probably how like Mike Leach got him on the team. Was there to play a game of horse, and as soon as he took the shirt off, he's like, "That's my guy. That's my quarterback."
We're gonna wrestle, and then whoever gets the first pinfall. If I did, then you got to sign. You got to commit. You got to commit to Washington State. If not, you can make me do something embarrassing. But Mike Leach, he got him. He got him.
He's a crafty one. That old bat.
So we will see how that. And also, I mean, Nick Sirianni. Obviously, he has systems. We don't know how that's going to play out, but he does have systems in place. There's going to be
That's true.
systems within systems, probably. I mean, I just know there's a lot of systems out there.
Know about all the systems in these systems.
Systems within systems. So stay tuned for whatever happens out in Philadelphia. But, unfortunately, we have to. I'm going to do let's talk about the baseball first, and then we'll
Okay.
close out with the, on a brighter note with the golf stuff, because
Okay,
that won't
I like
take
that
as
idea.
long. But, we had, sort of in memoriam, just kind of honoring the insanity that always goes on around the Mets on Monday's show. And with the thumbs down thing, it's a terrible look, all this stuff. But they end up winning the doubleheader the next day. I was working from home. I was like, ooh, I'm going to throw this game on. And I didn't know they had a makeup game. So I was kind of bummed about that I missed the initial, I was like, player intros. Ooh, it's going to be hype. But, it's relatively peaceful. There was a couple funny videos of the kid behind Lindor just the whole time doing the thumbs down, like right at the camera. That was pretty great. They end up winning that game. They scored like 5 runs in the 9th inning or something to walk off. They won the second game. So you're like, okay, well, they're earning back the goodwill. But then, today it comes out.
Oh boy.
GM Zach Scott busted for drunk driving in White Plains, New York. And as it turns out, leaving a party at the Cohen estate as well.
Yeah.
Mets,
So
just
the whole,
Metsing all the time.
So the story behind that is there was I don't know if it was like a charity fundraiser or something going on at Steve Cohen's place that all the Mets players and Mets personnel and staff were there. Supposedly Zach Scott left sometime between like 8:30 and 9. Haven't seen
I
any
did
reports
see,
about
on the timeline, it was like early in the morning. I mean, traditionally, unfortunately, the DUI hours, as they say. But
right. So yeah, he left there at 8:30 or 9 and was arrested for DUI at about 4 in the morning. I guess he was found. The car wasn't on, from everything I read, but he was in the driver's seat, obviously not in a good state. So, yeah, no, this happens.
hold the old
like
LaRussa, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Except not in the left turn lane with the car on.
This is true. So yeah, just real rough look there. Especially when, like you said, they kind of like swung things back in their favor on Tuesday. Go out there, get 2 wins. The crowd, of course, funny. You have success, the crowd cheers you. Weird how that happens, Baez, right? And then this happens.
It's not even like winning that doubleheader was like, all right, it doesn't guarantee anything like you're getting in the playoffs, but it was just, okay, well, this was like a kind of good, perfect timing for this to be like, hey, we had the little apology before the first game, come out with a comeback win in the first game, win the second game. We're not giving up. We're still trying. We're sorry about the thumbs down thing, whatever. And then boom, the next day, like just Mets, man. And they did have to reset the counter, I did see, at the factory. It's unfortunate, but we are back to 0 on the Mets counter. So, hey, every day is a good day to get better. Tomorrow's the next day, and maybe they go one day without Metsing, and we will just go from there. You just got to build on that.
Well, you say that, but then noted Mets fan and Fox Sports Radio host Jason Smith, of course, did have to point out everything that's happened this week. And folks, it's only Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean,
only
it does
Wednesday.
have the same kind of feel, as like when we saw the Reddit thread. Well, when you see it all itemized, it looks bad, but come on, it's not that crazy. Like, no, it's pretty bad. Like, everything that goes on around this team is cursed or insane or just bad luck or I don't know. But man, wow, it never stops. It never stops.
Which do also have to point out the high profile lost jewelry was Javi Baez losing an earring during the celebration of the morning game yesterday, which the grounds crew and Mets players were all like frantically searching the grounds for it. Still has not been found, to my knowledge.
Oh my God, Mets. And then,
Mets
I mean,
gonna-
just as a, this really, it's not even the Mets' fault, but just as part of the hurricane that is always the Mets, this is like an ancillary thing. Jeff Passan comes through, sort of just breaking more details down about the DUI circumstances. You know, maybe it was from the party, whatever. No timeline on this. David Wall, America's sweetheart, comes in with the and. I guess you're desperately trying to smear Cohen because you've got nothing else to do. And then Jeff Passan. Oh my God! Just, I mean, this is a Twitter beheading. Like this is. He picked up the red phone. He was like, drop all the nukes. Like
he woke up and chose violence.
That was it. He came to fight. I suppose whatever I have to do is better than what you have to do, which is visit your son in jail. Whoa. Oh man, like that is the kind of the weird, like awkward long-windedness of it makes it even more savage. Like, well, I guess you don't have anything better to do except visit your son because he's in jail because he's a criminal. Like, oh wow.
Y'all said y'all wanted violence. You're welcome.
And there it is.
Yeah, that was sorry, I'm just kind of trying to collect my thoughts because I just like still like look, this happened this morning and I've still been thinking of the savageness of this all day today. Like just going after Jacob Wall, going after David Wall on behalf of Jacob Wall, for all the things he did as far as trying to go after some kind of high profile people, blackmail him or imply their fraud, whatever he's in jail for. But don't go after Passan, man. Like he just does not give a fuck. He's not like under contract with anybody either, so he's kind of like not worried about. He doesn't have to play the corporate game and give.
He's not beholding to like his persona online is that of a connected MLB insider.
Yeah,
and it was kind of when I think back on it, it sucks because it was like the beginning of the end as far as like we all got fired because of the COVID thing, but that was nobody's fault.
Sure.
But got to go to the winter meetings. So one thing about Jeff Passan, I'll say, is he's got like I don't know what the best way to, like kind of like a Tom Cruise thing. Like he's a tiny man with a giant head. So it works on TV, like on camera. Like I get it. Like, oh, okay, that's a real thing. So I saw him in person. That was kind of funny. But all these insider guys, the other like second note to that was I didn't have anything to do there. Like I just had the pass. So I was just roaming around. I was like, oh, that's cool. There's, Russo, and there's all these all these random GMs and like people you see on TV. MLB Network was there set up. And then just coming out of some random hallway and seeing Rosenthal like buried in his phone, like hiding from everyone because he had some kind of scoop. Like they live on Twitter. Like this is like don't try to fight them by their rules because it won't end well for you. And Jeff Passan just shut that down. Like
it's like trying to fight. It's like trying to fight a war in Russia in the winter. You're on their ground.
That's
like
it.
You're not going to win this.
There's no way. There is no way. And just with one quick sharp shock. I mean, it was just like an absolute nuke. Like, and now, oh man, the reaction. Definitely go look in this thread because it's great. People posting like the Call of Duty 25 kill streak with a picture of Jeff Passan on it. Just all the memes. I mean, the memes write themselves. But this was. You're barking up the wrong tree, bro. Like, what are you trying to? You're gonna get all the smoke. These guys live on Twitter. That is their livelihood.
I think that's the thing I love most is like there's no like escalation progression to this. It's not like okay, I'm going to take like a little snipe at him, then he'll respond back, then I go again. It's like, no, this guy said something. Fuck it. I'm dropping the hammer right now. I'm ending this conversation before it even starts.
No, I saw David Wall did try to like respond back to it, which Jeff Passan, because he had already dropped the mic, like, I've ended your life, did not respond. And then in David's reply thread, he just continued to get roasted by other people. Like,
Yeah.
It's going to end bad. It's going to end bad. Like, people that do this for a living, just don't come at him like that, because it's never going to end well at all.
It's like, you don't go after Kevin Durant on Twitter. You don't go after Passan on Twitter. Just like,
That's right.
just again, you got to recognize, man, you don't play those away games. Don't
Can't
go
be
on
playing
their
those
home
road
field.
games. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're out of your element. It's not going to be good. Just take the L and move on, and don't say anything else. God forbid, because it's only going to get worse, which it did.
Whew. God, that is just brutal, man. That is fucking brutal.
But that was, one of the best, kind of all-time Twitter burns I've ever seen. Just the abruptness of it was just like,
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just throwing his whole life in his face right now, like in front of everyone. And I think, actually, let me see if I get the banner off here. You could see how many more likes his roast got than the original tweet. So that's kind of the temperature of the room on Twitter. Like, people want to feed on just getting snapped. And David Wall, you got snapped, bro. Just take it, move on.
Just take the L, move on.
Just try to figure out, where to go in life from here.
Just know where to pick your battles. This is a lesson. You learned a lesson here. Move on from it.
Well, that was brutal. I mean, that was violent. That was savage, many would say. But let's go out on a positive note.
Let's do it.
There was some good news today, and that is that our man, Old Phil, has been announced as a vice captain, along with smooth swinging Freddie Couples. Gotta love that. The dream team, which I'm assuming, most of their job is probably trying to keep Brooks and Bryson from fighting each other in the hotel. But everyone's got a job to do, so I'm happy it's these two guys.
Something tells me if that happened, like, Freddie's definitely trying to keep them separated. I think Phil's kind of antagonizing it.
Let them fight.
Happens.
We're just talking. Just talking.
Like, he's like, he'll walk between them, and then, like, maybe like a knife falls out of his pocket, and then he walks away, and just like, I don't know what happened, man. Just I don't know.
Hey, they're just talking. They're just talking. Just hold them back. Like, hey, well, they'll settle it like adults. But as I alluded to, Old Phil is, it's the best
He's
Phil
great.
to me.
He's great.
I liked young Phil, but, he always had the stain on him of, being sort of collapsing in the big moments and that sort of thing. He still has a great resume, a lot of wins, what have you. But Old Phil, especially empowered by winning a major this last year, he has really just ramped it up, the insanity. I mean, we saw the hitting bombs video, hellacious seeds, all the weird stuff that he already did. We haven't, I'm sure some of you have seen it, but I'm going to play for you in its entirety the bizarre, yet another Old Phil video, like on his way to, I believe, Saturday's round at the BMW in the car, and just going full Old Phil.
Who is ready to ball? This guy. This guy's ready to ball. I'm in last place, nothing to lose. Go for broke. Put it all out there, lay it all on the line. I'm ready to ball. Got my man Harry Higgs today. Harry Higgs. What a stallion. Got the shirt unbuttoned in honor of Stallion Higgs. Got Andrew Real Deal driving. I want to drive it like Andrew Real Deal. And if I do, going low. Later.
Going low. Phil is feeling good. He is going low.
Oh, man.
That is, and that's the man. You know, I'd run through a wall for that man. So if that's vice captain, all right, just tell me where to be, coach.
You know, I just realized the kind of inspirational, you know, sounding, but also like kind of like low, quiet tone reminds me of Kevin Nealon in Happy Gilmore.
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow.
Feeling the flow. No, that was just oh god, such a funny video.
Look, Phil,
Stallion.
just
Stallion.
yeah, the whole stallion thing. Like, Phil, wow, like we already knew you're weird, but you know what? Just get as weird as possible. Just go all the way.
Do it. Keep going. I'm here for it.
So, Vice Captain Phil, I mean, how can that not fire up the boys? Like, I feel like we're bringing this thing home for sure.
Oh man. Oh, if they're trailing on Sunday before you know the before everybody tees off, Phil's giving that inspirational speech, and they're coming back. They're storming back and winning. No question.
I'm very much picturing like the classic sort of like I'm confused, but I'm also like fired up, like the Ichiro All-Star Game speeches, like where he would just all of a sudden in perfect English get very vulgar and yell at everyone in the locker room, like let's kick their ass, and then beep 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 beep, like get crazier and crazier. Phil's got it in him, so that's in his back pocket. If it comes down to that, hey, I'd rather be in a foxhole with old Phil.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, running through a wall for that guy.
Who is ready to go low?
Who is ready to ball? This guy.
Bet your ass. You bet your ass. We're sending our best out there. I'll stand up and salute.
Oh, hell yeah.
One
Hell
last
yes.
thing that I did want to bring up, and I know it. You know, unfortunately, I forgot that I had this, but I want to circle back to baseball. We've talked about the trials and tribulations of the Padres. Unfortunately, actually for them, I mean, I know they lost today, but I believe the Reds had a doubleheader, and I think they lost the first game. I don't know about the second game.
They dominated the second game.
Okay, so it kind of comes out in the wash. But last night in Arizona, which ASU bros.
ASU night, baby.
ASU bros were in full effect. Even we talked about maybe Fernando does not want to play in the outfield. You can kind of see some of the body language. He's like, sucks being out here. Rather be at shortstop, making stuff happen. You know, more action, whatever it is. And if he's hurt, if he's still playing, like, might as well just play him there. Kind of, I'm sort of on board with that. But the ASU bros, because there was probably all of, 6,000 people at this game in full voice, were able to get a response even from the, maybe sort of disinterested Tatis Jr. in spectacular fashion.
Fernando! Right hand tits, left hand ass!
Breaking
Honest
news,
question.
ladies and gentlemen. Fernando
Honest
Tatis
question deserves
is
an
an
honest
answer.
answer. You know, he even with
Give me the
this,
answer.
he's sort of like, oh man, I can't believe this. But yes, ass.
Ass. But hey, respect to him for giving the answer, man. It's inquiring minds want to know, and now inquiring minds do know.
We want to know.
We want to know. That's right. Now I've seen that done at quite a few ballparks the last year. Just this was kind of like the I feel like the highest profile player that we've seen answer it. But noticed a lot of ball players are ass men. That's kind of what I've noticed this year.
Look, I'm not going to disparage anyone's choice. It's fair
No.
question, fair answer. But
Sure.
that's sort of one of the joys, I guess, of even if you're like, say they were like 20 games out and there's just no way. You still see these in baseball sometimes where it's just like that interaction with the, especially the people in the outfield, the bleacher creatures, whatever.
Typically cheaper seats.
Yes. Maybe a little lubed up, shall we say, a couple pops in them.
little
but
sauced. Yeah.
a little sauced and tossed. But the fact that the players still regularly do give responses to those, even if it's not, they're not turning around yelling or getting mad or whatever, just like, even that, like, that's what you go to the park to see, That's
Well,
the badge of
wasn't
truth.
wasn't it your boy Tony Gwynn Jr. that used to like if fans were heckling him, he'd put his glove behind his back and like open and close his glove as if it was talking at the same time as the person that was heckling
And do
him.
that, yes. Yeah, you see that sometimes. There was a guy, man, I can't remember that guy's name on the Pirates that I saw. It was like student day at Dodger Stadium, and I was sitting out in the pavilion, and he had like a pretty good back and forth too, but it happens all the time. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Certain things obviously are over the line. Don't do it, or obviously don't run on the field and try to like run up on players. But that part, the back and forth, is kind of like a staple of playing the outfield in major league ballparks.
Oh, for sure. Because I mean, most of the time you're just standing around, so like you got to find a way to entertain yourself out there. So yeah, have a
pass
little
the
fun with
time.
the crowd. Yeah.
But that was interesting and entertaining to see. We'll see. Padres not out of it yet, but hanging on for dear life.
No,
But that's pretty much.
They are a half game behind the Reds after today.
See, so it could be worse. That's pretty much all I had. All hail college football coming back bigger tomorrow, Friday, and then of course Saturday. And then we go into next week. We get the NFL back. A huge fantasy draft tomorrow that no one wants to correspond with me on, so it might just be on Zoom or something. I don't know, but make it right. Someone, let's get together. Let's do this proper. But
what if you all just carpool up to Coach's place? Just go pay him a visit.
I don't think you would appreciate that.
Probably not. I don't. You know what though? He seems like nice enough where he'd invite you in and host you, but he wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah, that's true. He would be very, outgoing and appreciative. Like, he wouldn't be rude, but then he'd probably resent it somewhere deep down inside. Like, why do you guys come to my house?
But look, we'll be back here on Friday. Talking a lot about obviously what baseball news we got going, golf. We'll give a rundown of all the big games in college this upcoming Saturday. So definitely looking forward to that. Big college football guys. Side note to that, last night I was watching several videos because I couldn't sleep, so I was watching several videos on YouTube about just how terrible Madden is, and
the new one?
Made me real concerned for the NCAA football game a couple years ago because, oh man, Madden is just getting roasted.
Well, I mean, I feel like at least the pressure on the buildup of we're finally going to get this college football game back by EA, they're probably going to try to polish that up as best they can. Yes, it will probably be whatever old version of the Madden engine. But as far as like the finer point, Madden, I feel like they just roll it out like new roster. Still, 1 million people are going to buy it, so we don't have to do anything to it. And it shows. Like, it's very clear that that's what they did with that game.
Well, so this thing I noticed is actually this year, like they were like, okay, well, we're gonna revamp franchise mode, and all they did was they added in like 2 features that they removed from the game 10 years ago. Like other than that, nothing changed. All their focus is still on Madden Ultimate Teams because they get a shit ton of money from that. So I hope they don't do that with the college game. Like, please give us a good dynasty mode. Give us the Heisman mode.
I'm holding out hope.
Give me the spring games, like even just like the spring game practice mode. I would like play that for hours.
They got to be at least self-aware enough to know that how much people have been wanting the college game to come back, the eyes that are on this, like the hunger of the fans. Like, we can't just totally botch this. So I'm hoping that they'll probably put, I don't know, but like a little bit more focus on that. Like, we got to put this out somewhat decent. Like, Madden, all right, we just fart one out every year and people just buy it. But for the college game, we've been waiting a long time. Let's get some elbow grease in there. Let's put a good product out there.
I hope so. Prove me wrong, EA, but man,
Prove me wrong.
I have so little faith in EA at this point in time. So, but anyway, so yeah, we'll be giving a good preview of college on Friday. Good preview of the upcoming games for this weekend. We're praying for you because it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. But anyway, thank you all for joining us, Ron. Thank you as always. We'll be back here on Friday, same time. You guys know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep the fire.